First off, we need to figure out a name for him. Warhammer name generator. I like that, actually. Make sure there's no real-life implications. Nope, we're good. Okay. It's always important when you're making a name that there's no real-life implications based around it. It's always good to Google that one ahead of time. Don't want to walk around having a character name something real unfortunate for both my sake and your sake. That'd be quite bad. But we're good on this front. Ethelthred appears to be about 30 years old. Parchment-like skin, stretch over her body, sinew implants, nervous-twitching fingers. Contrast to Ethelthred, Theodore von Valencia features appear as they were carved from marble and eternal and indestructible, just like me. Now I know we are related. It has nothing to do with the fact that she has probably extensive cybernetic and other augmentation hidden well under the skin. But it's just that we both have these amazing, amazing features. It's settled. Crail, find Ethelthred and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator, these two restrictive compartments. These are my personal chambers in the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? Ah. Well, at this point, I think it's smart to just bow my head. Normally, Crail is not one to follow anyone else, and if he does, they're usually not one to last too long before they find a bullet somewhere that a bullet really shouldn't go. But for now, I'll bend the knee.
The sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the immaterium. Only a navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Navigator Sanctum it is, then.
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
Very cheery for a man who just said mutations and madness is where we're going. But alas, what else are we gonna do? Best case scenario, we survive with a little bit of mutation. Worst case scenario, the ship explodes. So one half doesn't have another and all that.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
I like this guy in the background. Who's helping us out, but he's constantly preaching the propaganda and the lore. He doesn't do much. He's just a nice little dude, but he can never forget his true purpose. He's propaganda for the God Emperor, and I can respect that.
Is it? I have no answer.
A glass of water just tried to off me. Water does not go in the lungs. Excuse me. Oh, give me a second to compose myself. Oh. You get the whole invasion and heresy going on, but I need to be able to breathe to be able to deal with that one.
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these.
Shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my emperor.
Now that is how you do an intro. None of this, hey, look, I have psychic powers, dodge out of the way. None of this, hey, look, I'm a gruff old man with a sword. Look how impressive I am. That is an intro. Kicking down the door and dealing with your enemies. A hail of gunfire, yeah, that's cool. Woman called Junta lowers their weapons and scans your small party with an intense gaze. She sets her sight on you. Now I'm going to do number 3. But let me tell you the story about introductions and myself. So I am a person who has played many tabletop games, and I always make a point of doing introductions properly. Specifically, my favorite saying, especially on one character I played, is when you ask my name, it is polite to first introduce yourself. And this, unfortunately, has gotten me into many dire situations, because apparently, Most people don't like being polite, especially supremely powerful magical users. And after nearly shocking myself into unconsciousness by their magic when I said that like 4 times in a row, they finally took pity on me and introduced themselves. But I'm a man of principles. Want to know my name? You must first introduce yourselves. Now here's the thing. I get the 3 paths that have been laid out in this game. Dogmatic, which is following the Emperor. Heretical, which is, demon, conspiracy, and all that. And Iconoclast, which is basically being a good guy. A really, really good guy. Specifically, maybe a greater good guy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. However, I'm not a huge fan of these 3 options. I would not leave my people in harm's way. Seems both stupid and dumb and just excessively good for the situation we're in. Number 2 is immediately offering yourselves to the demons. That's even stupider. And the first one, the Emperor will guide us through the righteousness on their path. Walking into fire, what if the Emperor doesn't protect? Of course, we're the main character, so we're going to get plot protection. But the average person would just burn themselves alive. I don't like these 3 first options as a means by which to introduce you to the paths. Earlier options to give you a point here or there could have been fun, but saying here's a step. Offer soul to demons, throw yourself into the fire, or say no, we gotta help this little guy at the risk of yourself. Just I don't like them. They're not a great introduction in my eyes. I will note, this is a very odd splatter pattern. As we take a look here, now I'm no forensic scientist, but there are 2 big sections of blood here, plus a large pool in this section, which seem to make you believe there are 2 wounds. But then based on this here, it's also a large amount of blood. Spread pattern is odd, is all I'm going to say. But a little creative liberty here and there with the art decoration. Never hurt anybody. Especially with this weird pulsating banner.
The second sacrifice draws its gaze.
Remember if there's ever like a situation like this where an active evil ritual is going on? Don't let them continue to do their evil ritual. It's fair game to interrupt them. You don't have this side dialogue over here. A little pew-pew action, a little charging forth, might be in order to stop this whole evil nonsense going on. Hey, that's just my 2 cents.
Faith without deeds is worthless. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Go ahead and just shift to while we can. Oh, it was a leg rolling down the stairs. I was wondering what that sound was. It's a bit juicy for what happened there, but I mean, the sound design in this game is excellent, other than these weird limbs rolling all over the place. That happens occasionally. But I'll take good with the bad. Pretty much is woven in the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies. Today, I have a new thread of elusive possibility and fickle chances. A thread that will lead you to the maw of irreversibility. A thread that will help you find key to salvation. A thread that will guide you and your weapon or return to me. A feeling. We go speak to this guy. Doing an awful lot of cawing, because we are, might be talking here to a servant of Tzeentch. Of course, the Birdman himself.
Is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live.
I will note, love getting a new title, love getting a fancy seat, and especially all the privileges that come along with it. Kinda unfortunate, I won it because of lack of challenge. However, I will always take a promotion in any form of monetary compensation that I won because no one else is capable of challenging me. A win is a win in my book, boys. A win is a win. Ooh, swivel chair. Love a good swivel chair. Honestly, chairs today of important use that aren't swivel chairs just shouldn't exist. The modern era of technology, being able to wheel around, being able to turn to face people, very, very, very important. Swivel chairs for all, I say. I report that all fires across the decks have been extinguished. Primary damage assessment. In terms of material loss and crew sustained has been completed. Results are submitted to the Seneschal and High Factum. On your little secret here, Mr. Infernus Master. I see smoke in the background. Those may be good fires. How about you go with all... how do I want to phrase this? All non-regulated fires have been put out. We have dealt with all hazardous fires. Something along those lines. Because seeing smoke and then seeing you standing here saying that they've all been dealt with, may question your abilities a wee little bit there.
Thanks for watching. You should watch another. Please.